After the tragedy last month at Sandy Hook Elementary School, a much-needed nationwide conversation has transpired about what to do about the frequency of mass murder in the United States. Hey everyone, I'm Laci Green, and this is DNews. Even though on the whole crime in the US is falling, since 2006 there have been 25 mass shootings that killed 4 or more people. 7 of those shootings happened in 2012. The numbers are disturbing, to say the least, and everybody's asking, or rather arguing, about what to do about it. The National Rifle Association's top lobbyist, Wayne LaPierre, stated that the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. He said he believes America's gun problem can be attributed to the glorification of gun violence and violent video games and movies, and that the answer is to distribute more guns to the good guys, including teachers. The American Federation of Teachers and the National Education Association, the largest teachers groups, called the proposal astounding and disturbing. But what does scientific research have to say on the matter? Since Columbine, one of the worst shootouts in US history, a number of studies have been published examining the issue of violence in schools. Research published in the Journal of Police Crisis Negotiations looked at various approaches to school security. They found that the placement of school resource officers to help deal with bullying, racial tensions, disrespect, and gangs lowered violence and gang problems on high school campuses. When armed security was put on campus, schools experienced an overall increase in violent crime. Such was the case with Columbine itself, which had armed guards on campus when the shootout happened. There are outliers in the research though. The Pearl High School shootout in 1997 was curbed by an assistant principal with a pistol in his truck, and Michael Queen, an administrator in West Virginia, says that he's seen crime drop on his campus since implementing an armed police officer. The officer conducts anti-gang and anti-drug workshops, and Queen says that he would like to see more armed officers in schools. He thinks that arming teachers, however, would be a mistake. Still, in Utah, teachers are lining up to take firearms training. A South Carolina legislator introduced a bill to allow teachers to take guns to school. Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell says he's open to armed guards in his state's schools. Those who are opposed to arming teachers and guards argue that more guns is not the answer. According to a report by the National Research Council and the Institute of Medicine, the US is the most heavily armed society in the world, at 89 guns per 100 civilians. At the same time, we have the highest rate of violent death in the world. Another study published 10 years ago found that a gun in the home is 22 times more likely to be used in a suicide attempt, criminal assault, or unintentional shooting than in self-defense. Law enforcement officials warn that having more guns on campus, especially in the hands of teachers, could lead to even more violence. Gun control advocates argue instead for background checks, waiting periods, and tracking of firearms. In response to the NRA, the Coalition to Stop Gun Violence stated, arming teachers is not a preventative strategy, it's a reactive strategy. Once you have a homicidal maniac who's stockpiled weapons legally, you've failed from a public policy perspective. Personally, the thought that we have reached a place where we're actually considering arming teachers in public schools deeply disturbs me. It conjures images of America, land of the free, looking like a prison on lockdown with metal detectors, surveillance cameras, armed police and guards in classrooms, movie theaters, and churches. If we're building our everyday lives around a persistent threat of violence and murder, can we really call ourselves free? And yet, solutions that will help everybody stay safe are far from simple. I think the debate warrants more research to get clearer answers about how we can actually resolve, instead of endlessly fight about, this national crisis. All right, guys, I want to know what your thoughts are on this. Do you think that arming teachers is the solution to our gun violence problem? Do you favor gun control? Or maybe you favor something else altogether? Let me know down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more DNews that we're now going to be posting twice a day, 7 days a week.